With aerial lifts, you basically have two types of lifts, one being a boom lift and the other being a scissor lift. What we have pictured here is a scissored lift, and with a scissor, it is actually under the guidelines by OSHA under scaffolding. So because it contains a guardrail already, fall protection is not necessarily needed. Now we say not necessarily because some construction companies and or people that may be employing you will require a harness and a lanyard on this. If they do so, they are equipped to attach a lanyard to, and this is a place where you would use a back attachment and a 3 to 4 foot lanyard or a retractable lanyard. After making sure that our ground is clear and both of our controls are working, there are no fluids, then we're ready to operate the lift from inside of the guardrail system that's been equipped on this lift. One thing that we would never do, whether we were in a harness or not, we would never stand above the guardrail system that's been designed for us. This is a no-no. We want to keep our feet planted down on the surface of the ground at all times, and we also never want to come over the basket in extreme ways. We wouldn't put an appendage over the rail in any way or form. We have pictured here a scissor lift, but we want to talk in just a second about a boom lift or a telescoping lift. Those are very different animals, whereas OSHA sees this type of lift as a scaffolding and does not necessarily require fall protection. A boom lift is absolutely a must for fall protection. The reason is because as that boom telescopes out, even though it has a guardrail system, there is a catapulting effect to that boom. So if it was to get caught on something, wedged on something, or even just moved and that boom moved, it could eject the person out of the basket. So, and if a boom lift ever did go over, which we would hope it never would, but if it did, your best chances of survival are for you to be contained inside of that basket. So for that reason, if we're on a boom lift, we're always wearing our harness, and we have a 3 to 4 foot or a retractable lanyard attached to that basket at all times. When talking about aerial lift safety, the first and foremost thing is no operator should ever use a lift without first being trained on the equipment and the safety precautions that need to be taken before operating the lift. A few of those things, not a complete list, but a few of those things are one of the biggest causes of safety concerns with a lift is actually the ground and the area that's around. So these lifts are meant to be on level surfaces. They're not meant to go into heavy potholes or any openings or anything like that. So one of the first and foremost things that you can do is do a good ground surveillance of everywhere you're going to be running that lift so that we don't cause any tip overs. Another thing that we want to do is there's two sets of controls on all lifts. One will be a ground control set, and one will be a set that will work from the basket or from the guarded area. Both of those controls should work, and you should test those out to make sure that they do. It contains a battery box on the back side of this lift. We want to open that up, make sure there's no battery acid leaking on anything, and also we shouldn't be seeing any oil or hydraulic fluids anywhere on the ground or the lift itself.